Two monks were walking silently through a forest on their way back to their monastery. One was old, wise, gentle, with eyes that seemed to hold the peace of 1,000 sunsets. The other was young, energetic, disciplined, still learning what true peace meant. They walked for hours until they came to a river. The water was wide and fast. The bridge had been washed away in the rain. Standing by the riverbank was a young woman. She looked worried. She said softly, "Please, can one of you help me cross? I cannot step into this water alone." The younger monk immediately looked down, avoiding her eyes. Their order had strict rules. Monks were not allowed to touch women. But the older monk didn't hesitate. He smiled gently, picked her up in his arms, and carried her carefully across the river. When they reached the other side, he set her down. She bowed, thanked him, and went on her way. The old monk continued walking too, calm and silent, as before. But the young monk, he was disturbed. He kept glancing at the old monk, his face tightening with every step. They walked for miles without saying a word. Finally, the young monk couldn't hold it in anymore. He burst out, "Master, you know our vows. We are not supposed to touch a woman, especially a young one. How could you carry her like that?" The old monk looked at him and said, "Oh, my dear friend. I set her down by the river long ago. Why are you still carrying her?" Those words hit the young monk like lightning. He stopped in his tracks. His eyes widened. He realized the truth. He had been carrying that woman in his mind, judging, worrying, replaying the moment, long after it was over. The old monk, on the other hand, had acted with compassion and let go instantly. The act was pure, without attachment or guilt. How often do we do the same? We carry people, moments, and words in our minds, long after the event has passed. Someone insults us, we keep replaying it in our heads for days. A friend forgets our birthday, we silently hold resentment for months. A colleague gets credit for something we did, and the anger stays with us, eating our peace. The truth is, like the young monk, we carry too many people across the river, in our thoughts. And the weight of these memories is what makes life heavy. Think about it. That argument you had last week. The mistake you made years ago. The guilt that wakes you up at night. They are not happening now. They exist only in your mind. But you're still carrying them, just like the young monk. The past is over. The moment is gone. Yet we let it live rent-free in our hearts. Imagine if you carried every bag you ever owned, all at once. Your hands would be full, your back would ache, and you wouldn't be able to move. That's exactly what we do mentally. We carry emotional baggage. Each time we let go of one, life becomes lighter. The air feels fresher. The journey becomes easier. Let's go back to the story. The old monk wasn't breaking his vows, he was keeping the deeper spirit of them. His compassion came before rules. He acted selflessly, without desire or attachment. The young monk, however, followed the rule outwardly, but inwardly, his mind was trapped by judgment and fear. One monk carried a woman across a river. The other carried her in his mind for miles. Which one truly broke the rule? The story teaches us this simple truth: purity is not in the action, but in the intention and the release that follows. We all face rivers every day, situations that test our patience, compassion, and control. How we cross them defines who we are. Sometimes, doing the right thing means letting go of rules made by the mind, pride, ego, or anger, and choosing love instead. When the two monks reached their monastery, the young one finally understood. He bowed to his master and said, "Now I see, Master, the burden I carried was not hers, but mine. The old monk smiled, and simply said, yes. The heaviest things are the ones we cannot see. Let go, not just of what's in your hands, but what's in your mind. Let go of the argument that ended years ago. Let go of the person who left. Let go of the words that still hurt. Let go of the guilt for things you couldn't control. Because peace doesn't come from control, it comes from release. Notice how the river flows. It doesn't hold on to what passes through it. It carries everything, leaves, twigs, stones, and keeps moving. You, too, are meant to flow. The past is like that river bank, it was just one stop along the way. Don't sit there forever, staring at what you've already crossed. Next time your mind gets stuck replaying something, try this. 1. Pause and breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. You're here, not in the past. 2. Ask yourself, am I still carrying this? 3. If yes, whisper softly, I set it down now. 4. Visualize placing that burden by a river and walking away. You'll feel a strange lightness inside, that's peace returning home. The Buddha once said, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Every time you cling to a thought that hurts, you burn yourself again. So put it down. Let the water take it. Be free. Peace is not something you find, it's what remains when you stop carrying what isn't yours. The world is full of rivers. You will cross many. But remember, once you've reached the other side, don't carry the memory of the crossing. Set it down. Walk on. Because life moves, and so should you. Let go. Forgive. Move forward. That's the path to peace. Ready to let go? Like, share or subscribe the Story Room by Jay for daily peace.